The new crazy slim iPad Pro just dropped, and I've got all the accessories to take it to the next level. Now, you probably won't find too many accessories out there since the iPads are so new, but ESR already has a bunch queued up and ready to go. They were cool enough to sponsor today's video and send their entire new iPad Pro and iPad Air lineup so that we could check it out. First up, we've got their Rebound Magnetic Keyboard Case 360, which gives you not only a case for the iPad, but also a detachable Bluetooth keyboard that uses magnets so you can prop up your iPad in the way you want to use it. And it's a legit keyboard with customizable backlighting and a fully functional trackpad. And if you're an Apple Pencil user, they've got a protective flap for that, which is actually pretty nice. So if you're putting it in your backpack or pulling it out your backpack, the pencil doesn't just fly off. They also sent over their Shift Magnetic case, which comes with a detachable stand that lets you put the iPad in a bunch of different orientations for watching content, illustrating, reading, and it's slim, which is like a huge plus. But yeah, lots of configurations. And they've also got this ultra tempered glass screen protector, which is supposed to be able to handle up to 110 pounds of force. I'm not testing that, but I like protecting my tech, so I'm all for this. But yeah, I'll have all of this ESR gear linked down below so that you guys can go ahead and check them out. ESR definitely makes some solid iPhone and iPad accessories, so hit the links down below. But now let's move on to the rest of the list. First up, and I like this one, is the Nexa 4-in-1 laptop sleeve from Journey. And I know what you're thinking, this is an iPad, not a laptop. But I personally like having keyboards on my iPad, and chances are if you like using yours like that too, you're gonna like this. So it comes in a 13 to 14 inch option as well as a 15 to 16 if you wanna use it with like a larger laptop, but it's the right size for traveling with your iPad. But it's not just a travel sleeve. It also functions as a desk mat with built-in wireless chargers for your iPhone and even your AirPods. Just plug into the USB-C port and you've got MagSafe chargers for your gear. So not only does it work well to carry the iPad, but it sets you up so that you can have a little mobile workstation on the go. Not to mention, it feels really high quality, and it also comes in gray. Now, what if you did want to make a mobile desk setup out of it, right? Well, if you plan on going all out with like an iPad Pro, chances are you might be looking at it as a laptop replacement. So here's some gear to help with that. If you need a simple stand to prop up your iPad, I really like this one from UgrAvg. I like that it folds down to a really compact size, but also extends to a bunch of different positions while providing the support so that it doesn't feel like it'll just topple over with use. It's actually pretty rigid, which is nice if you plan on using your fingers or maybe the Apple Pencil with it. It's a stand, but it's compact, solid, looks pretty good, and only costs around 25 bucks depending on the color you go for. However you plan to prop up your iPad, you're gonna want an actual keyboard if you plan on doing anything beyond just the standard content consumption, and I really like this one from Satechi. It's not a full-size keyboard, but that's okay if you want to take this thing around with you. It's got an awesome aluminum frame, interchangeable keycaps if you care for that kind of thing, and overall provides a nice typing experience. It also works with Windows if you like to double dip, but if you really want to go nuts, it can be used with up to 4 devices since you can pair 2 through Bluetooth, use the USB dongle that it comes with, and even have it connected through the USB-C port. It's also backlit with a bunch of random lighting effects, but I'm not gonna lie, some of them are really distracting. I just like the plain one. I personally prefer to have a keyboard case with my iPad, especially if I'm taking it on the go. But this is still a great option since it's compact enough to throw in a backpack, and it's gonna work really great on a full desk setup if you're looking for a more desktop-like experience. Not to mention, the white one looks pretty sick, and it costs like $15 less. And if you aren't trying to break the bank with everything and you need a mouse, you gotta check out the Logitech M720 Triathlon. It kind of reminds me of the MX Master that all us techies like to recommend. It's got great ergonomics, and I believe left-handed folks can use it comfortably too, but the buttons are on the left side. And you can customize the button behavior with Logitech software, but you're gonna need another computer for that. Luckily, this thing can pair up to 3 devices at once with just the press of a button. You can switch between the 3 of them, so being able to jump between the software and your iPad won't really be a big deal. It's not very expensive, feels good to use, so it's easy to recommend. Now, I know just how much the price goes up when you start looking at the 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte version of the iPad Pro, so let's talk about some external storage. So this one right here is the Samsung T7 Shield. Now, I like this drive because the iPad is all about being mobile, right? So if you plan on taking this thing out and about, you're gonna want an SSD that's protected. This thing is drop resistant as well as IP68 water resistant. So if you happen to spill some water on your table or whatever weird reason you might have water around your tech, you're gonna at least know there's some protection here. It's compact, durable, and fast enough for most tasks folks will want to use it for, and it's always been pretty reliable for me, so I don't have a hard time recommending this one. Not to mention, it goes all the way up to 4 terabytes. And if you plan on being out for like a really long time, and I feel like the iPad has pretty good battery, but it never hurts to have a portable charger. Anker's got this big beefy prime power bank that has 27,650 milliamp hours. And trust me folks, it's a lot. And that's enough to charge your iPad a couple of times. It's got really fast charging speeds, as well as this built-in display that gives you all kinds of information about your charging speed, how long it's gonna take to get filled up when you're charging it, as well as like the temperature and all kinds of nerdy stuff. But it's cool to have all that info there if it matters to you. You can even get this charging base for your desk that wirelessly charges it, as well as has a few USB ports if you wanna charge other devices as well. But like, listen, they're pretty pricey, and I know not everyone is gonna wanna spend a pretty penny on like a power bank, so I'll have some other options linked down below that are solid for the folks out there who aren't looking for something this premium. Now, when it comes to audio, I mean, there's really no beating AirPods, so I'm always gonna recommend the AirPods Pro. I personally love them, and I know you see it. These are customized by the folks over at Colorware. They look super dope. This is part of their Granite collection, and it looks absolutely awesome. So if you're editing or maybe just consuming content and you need a nice pair of earbuds to go with it, definitely the AirPods Pro, the Apple ecosystem, it just makes sense. And with those Colorware paint jobs, they can even look stylish. Those folks even painted the AirPods Max. Those look awesome. That's also part of their Granite collection. I'll have them linked down below, but if you're looking for reliable audio, it makes sense to go within the ecosystem. And if you wanted some other options, I'll put some of my favorites down below as well. Now, if you want to turn the iPad into the accessory, the Rolling Square Edge Pro does just that for MacBook users. So basically, you can attach these magnetic discs to your iPad and your MacBook, and because the iPad can work as a secondary display for Macs, you can use it to create a second display for your Mac without adding much bulk. And I'm not gonna lie, it works pretty well, especially with that new slim iPad Pro, because it's a lot lighter and thinner. And it's actually pretty strong and holds the position well, even if you tilt the screen back. The only thing I'm not crazy about is the really strong adhesive, since it'll be hard to remove. But if you think about it, there's really no way around it if you want this thing to be secure. It's a nice way to get even more out of your iPad, especially if you love that dual monitor life. And last but not least, and I know you're probably thinking Apple Pencil Pro, sorta. For the folks who need the Apple Pencil Pro, you already know who you are. But for those users, there's actually this really cool grip that makes it really easy to hold onto the Apple Pencil Pro or any Apple Pencil. And it's just really nice because you can still squeeze it and get the new functionality out of the Pencil Pro. And it just overall feels a lot nicer. Still works well with the iPad's magnet, so you can store it up top, even with a case. So if you're someone who spends a lot of time using the Apple Pencil and you just wish the grip were a little bit better, this one from Paperlike is legit. But that's about it, guys. I'll have everything linked down below. Let me know what your must-have accessory is with a comment down below. Peace.